If you look at the selling rates of crypto, what's happened over the last 6 months is institutions have been dumping their crypto. Some, like Saylor and others, are holding on and doing everything in their power to go Team Orange. But most are looking at it as a high risk, high return asset. And in times of recession, reallocate your portfolio. This was always the danger of inviting the Wall Street types in, is that they would just simply treat crypto like any other asset and label it as an exotic high risk one. And when the markets go in not the direction they want, they dump it. The retail people are holding because they are opting out of a global system that's unfair, a global system that's frankly rigged. I've seen it myself. I've been in the meetings. I've talked to the people everywhere I go. They don't give a fuck about sustainability. They don't care at all in any way, shape, or form about whether you live well. Your standard of living is the same as the standard of living of your parents, your grandparents, your great-grandparents. In fact, quite the opposite. They're trying to prepare the masses to accept a standard of living significantly less than the one that they inherited, the one that they grew up with.
Bitcoin has plunged to a 16-month low, while the altcoins have suffered even more in the past week or so. Despite bouncing off and reclaiming some ground, the situation is still dire, and Cardano's Charles Hoskinson has provided his outtake on it. Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson noted that the market is deep in a new crypto winter, and it will take weeks or even months for a bottom to appear, following which will be some respite. According to him, the digital asset markets are in a phase of panicked blood in the street. Hello and welcome to Money Talks. In today's video, Charles Hoskinson addresses the issue of market volatility and dramatic fluctuations in the prices of cryptocurrencies. How long will this crypto winter last, and the impact of institutional versus retail investors dumping their crypto on overall price action of the markets. Make sure to stick around till the end of this video where Charles Hoskinson reveals whether or not we're in a crypto winter. So, without wasting any time, let's dive right into the video.
I've been in this space for almost a decade now, and I remember Bitcoin before it was $1, and then going up to 30, then down to 4, then to 250, then to 80, then to 1200, then down to 250 again, then up to 20,000, then down to 4,000, then to 64,000, and now we're in the 30s. And I remember all the events, the collapse of Silk Road, the collapse of Mt. Gox, all the various interesting ventures throughout the years like Mastercoin and Color Coins and a litany of other things and concerns. And no matter where I go, what I do, it always amazes me that there's this constant rhyming of the attitude. So the old guards, nothing phases us anymore. We've seen everything twice just to make sure we didn't miss anything. The new people, the minute that something occurs, like for example, the collapse of a stable coin or the collapse of BitConnect or these types of things, then they say, oh my God, this is the end of crypto. Everything is over. Oh, we're all going to die. The markets are over. The dream is gone. What's happening right now is there's over $300 trillion of institutional money floating around the world looking for a home. The last 20 years in particular, there's been a hyper acceleration in the printing of money. This is what Ron Paul was talking about, all the Austrians were talking about, and nobody really listened to them. America went from $4.5 trillion in a national debt and a surplus to over $30 trillion, and the prospect of a 3% interest rate, meaning it costs you $1 trillion a year just to service your debt. This is not healthy. The world economy is not healthy. And there's now the biggest division ever between the retail investor and the institutional investor.
Bitcoin has managed to capture the institutional interest, something that has been often celebrated. While the retail investors continue to hold crypto as they opt out of an unfair, rigged global system, the IOHK chief believes that the foray of Wall Street types into digital assets has exacerbated the latest downturn. He said that institutional cohort have been dumping their crypto and most are looking at it as a high-risk, high-return asset. Many consider the recent turn of events a black swan and historic in size. While weighing on the unwinding of UST, the exec said that a collapse of a stablecoin or a project exit scam does not mean it is the end of the entire industry. Hoskinson added that the whole point of the crypto market is to restore the lost trust, credibility, and stability in the global money system.
Last 2 years, we saw the greatest wealth transfer in human history from the poor to the rich. And now the rich are admitting that maybe all the things that they did over the last 2 years were not necessary, but they don't give the money back, the property back. You see, the Great Reset, Davos, this year I was going to go out of disgust. I'm just not going to do it anymore. Because what are they doing? They're saying you'll own nothing and be happy. All the farmland is going to be owned by the rich people and the big companies, multinational companies, international funds. All of the supply chains run by a small group of hyper-consolidated entities that are transnational. Don't give a fuck about the little person. The retail side, people are opting out. Problem is there's less money on the retail side now than on the institutional side. If you're building something for everyone and you're building something to last, build it well, even if it takes a little bit more money and a little bit more time. Again and again, I've always said that it's not going to be first to market. It's going to be best to market, and those who exhibit stability and resilience in the bad times that survive. That's why today we're stronger than we've ever been in the history of the project. More people than we've ever had in the history of the project. Yet that will not be reflected in the media, the prices, or the current atmosphere because it's one of fear, greed, and it's one that doesn't seem to care about basic principles. But here's the thing, the fair weather people in all those cycles, they get drowned out, and the people who stay behind are the people who are here for the long term. And our community, in my view, is the best because they get it. They've gotten it from the very beginning. We have to do better. We have to leave behind something to those who come after us, which was better than what we found.
Hoskinson has posted, obviously lauding the fundamentals of the Cardano network. Cardano has retained the title of the network with the most development being carried out, and as a result of this has seen growth in various aspects. The founder celebrated the fact that the network was getting faster, more decentralized, remains the most advanced technology, and best of all, the community continues to grow from all angles.
Even Ethereum is starting to admit this as they move from ETH1 to ETH2. You see, look carefully at what people do, at the code that they write, the papers that they draft, not what they say, not what they babble on about in Reddit and Twitter and Telegram and other channels, but what they actually do, what they actually release. You see, things like decentralization, throughput, these are deep conversations. Inclusive accountability, these are deep conversations that need to be had. Because right now, decisions are being made in this industry and abroad about whether you're in control or someone else is in control. The entire point of the papers we've written, the code we've written, the ecosystem we build is to preserve the basic principle that you're in control, not someone else. If people use the convenient boogeyman of the week to excuse inflation or recession, when they cannot possibly be intellectually honest that printing trillions of dollars every year out of thin air is not going to have ramifications and consequences. If the warfare state needs to increase and continue, empire needs to increase and continue for all of our standards to be the same. Meanwhile, our environment is being devastated. Meanwhile, standards of living are going down, despite the fact that technology, social progress, and education are improving. Never has there been a time in human history where we have gained so much from the labors of those who came before us, yet our systems are so inadequate to harness what we've gained. And never has there been a time in human history where we have been so blind to the long-term consequences of what we're doing. We're due for a systems change, and the institutions aren't going to do that for us. They're going to go down with the sinking ship because they simply have no other choice. The point of cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology has always been a different option than the dystopian future that's being offered to us, where we own nothing and will be happy. The point is we get our freedom back, our liberty back. That is what we are seeking. Yet people are trained to babble on and on and on about the current state of the markets, which are caused by manipulation and outsiders. Think about it.
Like clockwork, there were those who came out to lament the dropping price of its native cryptocurrency, ADA. Despite all the developments that have been going on, according to the founder, this is a bear market. So naturally, it is expected that the price of ADA would be dropping alongside the rest of the market. This happens regardless of what the network does or what developments are carried out, Hoskinson explained. Basically, this confirms his belief that the market is now in a bear, one that has seen ADA's price decline towards yearly lows. So, do you agree with Charles Hoskinson that a great reset is coming? Tell us in the comments. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you soon with the next video. Thank you so much for watching.